Hello, this is Freddie with the Franchise Tag Podcast here with Andy Quinn, kicker and punter for the NFL Academy, and has committed to Boston College. Five-star recruit. Are you sick of hearing five-star?
A little bit, but like it's a nice like at the end of the day, it's a nice tag to get, and I'm really happy that I managed to get that tag over at the Coles kicking camp this summer, and then them also ranking me so highly as they did, fourth punter in America and 12th best kicker in America. It's like I'd rather have them titles than not have them titles. So it's really really good.
I always thought having five stars better than having no stars. That would
Exactly.
be
Yeah, yeah,
that would be pretty good. But that's fantastic. I mean, already you're becoming a bit of a household name amongst the NFL UK and Ireland fans already. Obviously
yeah,
from Ireland yourself.
yeah.
Lots of amazing things going on over there. Obviously rumours of a game potentially there next year as well. Neither confirmed nor denied, as we are sat in the NFL headquarters. So yeah, tell me about what's the journey been like from the start of this going to right now, because it has been a bit of a whirlwind for you. We saw each other in Munich the other week,
Yeah.
and it's been a lot of focus on you, and you've been taking it in your stride, I think. And
Yeah.
what's the journey been like so far?
Unbelievable journey. Like this really shouldn't, like, it's been a weird sort of experience. Like I started off my American football journey winning a halftime kicking competition. So that's where I during the Aer Lingus College Classic in 2022, I kicked at halftime, kicked two 45-yard field goals and won flights to Chicago. And um, from that, the NFL Academy saw me kicking under pressure, and they're like, okay, this 16-year-old kid could have something. And Coach Hagan, Chris Stern brought me over, and Coach Ian as well brought me over and invested in me and got me training for the year, and managed to get me to a Division One college in Boston College and playing the ACC. It's a class experience.
Yeah, I mean, Boston's pretty infamous for its Irish connections as well. A lot of Irish heritage in Boston as well. Are you pretty excited to get over there? Have you been to, obviously, you've been over there to visit, but had you ever been to sort of that area beforehand? Or obviously, it's incredibly famous for a particular team that had a dynasty for a very long time. So
Yeah.
that does, and for people who don't know, obviously, New England Patriots. So, what sort of struck you about Boston when you first went to visit?
So I went there three times, twice over the summer and then for my official visit. Um, Over the summer, it was just a connecting flight, and I said I'd stop off for a day and kick for the um, coaches in Boston College to let them have a look at me, sort of. And the university itself, it's got one of the nicest campuses I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've been around a lot of Irish universities, and I'd say probably 10 US universities, and by far Boston has the nicest campus. Um, the coaches that were there were the best coaches staff that I've seen. A lot of NFL experience in there. Coach O'Brien. I think there's 86 years of NFL coaching experience within the coaching staff, so it's really really cool. And it's a great experience to get. And then Boston itself is like the most Irish city you can go to in America. They publicized Boston College as being the closest Power Four college to Ireland that you could possibly go to, and that was sort of a nice selling point. And yeah, it was really really felt home. Felt like I was at home in Boston, so I'm delighted to get to go there and live the next 4 years in Boston College.
Obviously, plenty of Irish kicks and punters in the NFL right now. A lot of them in the main media, I suppose, for making some fantastic field goals and winning games. Have any of them sort of spoke to you, or have you reached out to them as a bit of advice? And coming from the same areas, or the same country at
Yeah,
least. Obviously, to Americans, they all think we all live right next door to each
yeah,
other. Where really, Dublin to Cork to Limerick is very far
yeah,
away
yeah,
from each other. Have any of them reached out or
yeah.
anything like that?
So when I started, and Charlie Smith started, we were both training together. I've trained with Charlie a good so many times. We both learned a lot from each other. And then Jude McIntyre, I got to speak with him in Munich. The Giants were playing there, and I got to speak to him and learn a bit about him and how he sort of controls himself and his sort of demeanor as a kicker. And he was very sort of level-headed and steady. That was the biggest learning I found from him. And then even in the college scene, I've been lucky enough to talk to David Shanahan, and my dad actually reached out to his dad, Jack Shanahan, just to see what the perspective is like as a dad of a kicker or punter going to America and seeing what learnings and what to expect. So yeah, I've got to reach out to a good few people, and everything they're saying is really positive, and it's going to be a class experience. I can't wait to get out there.
That's such an interesting thing and really forward thinking from your dad
Yeah,
to speak to people who because it's a big commitment, it's a big thing, and it's hard enough for parents when the kids go off to university here, let
yeah,
alone go to all the way across over to America, and there's obviously worry about that, and I can imagine a part of the whole college experience and going to see it is also it's so important for yourself as the player, but it's also so important to the parents as well to know that you're in the right facility, you're in the right place, and that's like a very interesting thing. I think that maybe NFL fans don't think about, I suppose,
yeah,
even for the American kids, either. If you're from South Florida and you go all the way up to Wisconsin,
yeah,
that's no easy trip, and it's complete culture change
yeah.
as well. So that's a really, really interesting, interesting story for it. Moving forward with the academy and how it is going over here, do you think we're going to be expected to see more Irish kids and more British kids and more European kids sort of funneling into the NFL and into colleges as well? Because the work that's been happening in the international play pathway so far has been phenomenal, as well as the academy stuff. I've been to the game this year and I went to the game last year. It was a fantastic evening on both occasions. So do you see this just almost becoming the norm at some point?
Yeah, definitely the NFL Academy is only going to grow. The international player pathway is only going to grow. I think on an Irish standpoint, a lot of people are like, "Oh, the Irish kickers, the Irish kickers." I'm sure this year we're going to get and sort of I call it like an outfield player, but like a skill.
Diversify the skill
Yeah,
set. Yeah,
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 it's going to be
yeah.
like a wide receiver, a tight end. He's going to be in the IPP, and it's going to widen the horizon not just for Irish kickers, but for Irish American football players to make it to the NFL. So that's really exciting, and I think Ireland shouldn't just be looked at as
The kicking
the
nation.
kicking nation. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Like we've got rugby, we've got Gaelic football, we've got a lot of physical sports that we're able to transfer over. Like we've got a lot of athletes in Ireland, so I definitely think a good few Irish guys are going to transition and come to the NFL Academy as well as more athletes rather than just kickers because we can do more than just kick the ball. So, but yeah,